Where my girls at? Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We link up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
Yes, we got issues. We got issues. I'm excited. I'm excited. Oh my goodness. How you guys doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Oh my goodness. I am so excited. The weekend is over. The week has started and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have a great attitude on Monday. I know there's people walking around the world just so sad it was Monday. They had to go back to the work, but I am not feeling that way at all. I am feeling very excited, very inspired, very happy. And Carolyn Muse has hit us up at the beginning on the hour. It is Monday, seriously Monday. You guys, so much is going on. My name is Gloria Mayfield Banks, and I'm from the DMV. Although right now I'm down in Florida. I'm excited to be here in Florida with you guys. There's a little bit of feedback there, but I'm excited about this, and I'm excited about us bringing you some issues. This is so exciting. Today, we're going to be talking about fashion. We're going to talk about domestic violence. We're going to talk about single parents. We're going to talk about entrepreneurship. You're going to like, what? How is that all pulled together? But trust me, if you got passion for fashion, you want to be on the show. I also want to invite all the women that have lived life in one way or the other so that they can lean in, because one of the things that we get to do is mentor amazing women who are going in a different direction up the ladder of success. And all of us have something to say. All of us have some advice to give, and all of us have a comment. So I'm going to just tell you right now, call into 9:10 a.m. the Superstation, 313-778-7600, and lend your voice to this conversation. You guys, this is We Got Issues, and we're here every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. And it is exciting that we're doing this on the radio, on iHeartRadio. We're listening all kind of ways that you guys are here, and we're doing it internationally. We're so excited that we have calls from all over the place. And guess what? You know when it's Monday, OMG. There's so much that happens on a regular basis, but then you talk about all day Saturday and all day Sunday and all day Monday. A lot is going on. A lot is going on. So we're going to sweep over from Florida down here where I am today over to the West Coast in her bright orange. Katrina Harris Earl, one of the girls. She's the only one that's got a rhyme. Katrina, what's happening out there, Katrina? What's going on?
Oh my goodness. Well, what is happening is there is still precipitation in the air, which is good. I mean, it's almost embarrassing because I know y'all see the news and it looks like California's underwater and it looks like it's flooded everywhere.
It does.
And, you know, it's almost embarrassing that it takes so little. I mean, although we got some rain, but compared to Chicago, it's almost embarrassing that it takes that little rain for us. But it's because of all that, you know, all those fires, all that brush like runs down, and then there's hills. So all that brush runs down and it clogs the drains, and it's just a mess. It really is a mess. Nothing around us, but we drove from San Jose up the bay yesterday, and it was, Californians just cannot drive in the rain. I'm just making that public service announcement for for my East Coast and Midwest people. It's like you would think everything stops around here when it rains. It's interesting. So that's what's happening. But we are grateful. Everybody you talk to is like, we need the rain. We need the rain. We're grateful. We need the rain. So I will not complain about the rain. So that's what's happening over here. But it's still warm.
I will not complain about the rain. I will not complain about the rain. It's your girl, Katrina Harris Earl. I don't know. I think she's rhyming affirmation. She's rapping on the show. We got issues because we got issues. We got issues. So thank you. Seriously, as we've had that topic of the weather on the station a lot of times, we always lean in when we hear it, and we talk about it sometimes lightly, we talk about it heavily, but we all agree that it's a real situation that we have to continue to pay attention to as the children tell us into a world that we appreciate. So I'm about that because it's amazing to know what you see on the news, and then for you to tell us the truth about what we actually see. Sabrina Goodwin Monday got that big old sign behind you on the air. What's going on, Sabrina Goodwin Monday? What is happening in your life? Because it is Sabrina Goodwin Monday, and it is Monday. So what's going on, Sabrina?
Every day is Monday. Every day is Monday in my world, you guys. It's always good to see you after coming off a weekend, busy weekend. Oh my goodness, but it's always good to get back to the basics. And that's this radio show where we are positive, powerful, not Pollyannish, a lot to talk about. And so don't drop the mic. I'm excited about our guest, Gloria. Another day to learn, to grow, to explore, to empower one another. So it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. Chrisette, I love that hair, girl. She got some Monday hair, some new hair. Love it.
Tell us all about it. You missed the backstory, Sabrina. You missed.
Yeah. So hey, you guys, I'm excited to be here. It's always a blessing to be.
Chris, we can't hear you. Here she comes, y'all. Here she comes.
Sorry. I was saying it's always a blessing to be here on a Monday. And I'm telling you, Katrina, your weather is our weather because it rained all night and it's still raining all day. So it is a wet one today. But you guys, you know what? You talk about the hair on the radio. You can't see it. But yeah, I have a girlfriend on, and it's so funny. What this teaches us is the power of social media. When I tell you social media is a beast, while there are some negative things that go on social media, yes. But let's be clear, there's some great things that happen with social media. So last week I posted on social media, I had gone on and I wanted to get a wig. And so I saw something posted. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. The model was rocking it. And I said, if it looked good on her, it got to look good on me. So my fingers got to working and I ordered the wig. And when I tell you what they sent me was a hot mess. When I tell you, it was absolutely nothing like what I ordered. So I went on social media and I just kind of did a fun post about don't get caught like I got caught ordering something and get a bait and switch. And I know, Sabrina, that's happened to you before too. And so anyway, after that, everybody, it was so many people reaching out. I said, inbox me if you know, or DM me if you know a good place where I can find a great wig. And I promise you, I got so many hits. And they even told me about a Facebook group, Gloria, that we can join. And they tell you the truth. They tell you where to order them. They tell you how to take care of them. They tell you everything. I was like, oh yeah, I'm absolutely going to be a part of that group. So I went to, and I'm going to give them a shout out, because so many women inboxed me and said, go to Love Me Hair, LUVME Hair. And they said they have the best wigs. So I said, you know what? Hey, if you guys said, and it kept coming up over and over, I went and baby, when I tell you, you can't see it on the air, but I promise you, this girlfriend right here, she a keeper. She is my new, she is a member of the Force of Friendship. Absolutely. She is a member. It feels good and it looks good. So I'm telling you, if you got an issue, now I ain't talking about your personal business. That's another whole conversation. But if you got some stuff you trying to find Social media will tell you the truth and tell you where to find it. So I am very happy. I'm going to post and let them know. Thank you for sending me there, because I promise you, I love my new. Thank you for Gloria. Check this out. Thank you for sending me there, because I love my new hair. That's my God.
we gonna get them to be a sponsor on the show. They can just go and each a
That's
girlfriend,
right, Katrina.
And so that'll be great. You know, I'm hitting them up right now. Like, we need you to come on the show, sponsor.
Absolutely. I'll tag them. We got issues, but not with the hair.
You guys, seriously, that is so that I'm doing it. There's two of us on here that got it going on, and two of us on here that just haven't crossed the line yet. And I might be the next one to cross the line, because Sabrina's always saying no. But we've been friends for a long time, y'all. We've been friends for a long time. That was the start of the show, to talk about the value of friendship. So, Sabrina, if I cross over, you in trouble right now. You just in trouble right now. You can hold your force down if you want to, but I'm going to LUVME.
Sabrina is always the last one. We're going to get her. She hasn't found the right girlfriend yet, but we're going to get her to cross over. She definitely not doing the natural thing, but we can cross her over to the girlfriend. We can cross her over there.
We're going to cross
Make
over
me a believer. Make me a believer. Make me a believer.
Start with one that's like your own hair, and then if you can fool people, you got a good one. That's where we're going to start.
We're going to have to do a show about that. You guys, I was here at a wedding in Florida, and it was fabulous. But this, you guys, the conversation is, this was a wedding that was postponed 2 or 3 times. And we know our girlfriend, Tony, this is her daughter's wedding, and it was postponed, and it was postponed. And then finally they put the stake in the ground, and they said, we're going to do the wedding on this day, and we're going to do everything we possibly can. So it was really great. And of course, we were going to be all outside in the Florida weather, and then bam, the rain came. I mean, and I'm talking about torrential rain, like bam. But here's the thing. When you hang around people who have a good attitude, they brought all the chairs inside. I mean, it was a matter of 5 or 10 minutes. All the chairs were in, all the stuff was wiped down. Next thing you know, the bride's coming down the aisle, and she looked absolutely phenomenal. And I'm gonna say this out loud on the air, y'all. Her dress was amazing, but her booty in the dress was phenomenal. I was like, girl, oh my goodness, she looked so amazing. The dress was gorgeous. But I was like, girl, you had that thing. Because Tony used to work for David Bridal, so it was perfectly altered. I say perfectly altered, and she looked amazing. And I was so excited for it. And I was like, you know what? Ladies have to tell ladies that we all admire everything. So she looked absolutely gorgeous. It was a really good time. So weddings are back in slowly and surely. We're going to weddings. But we're going to go to our show, because we got some other things to talk about for sure. And we're going to talk a little bit about somebody said something about having shots. They couldn't get their shots. They were supposed to get their shots. Was that you, Chris? What did you say about that?
Yeah, that was me. Today, I went on CVS website and made an appointment for my dad and I to go. And when we got there, they sent us the confirmation. Do you know they wouldn't do it because they said our insurance wouldn't pay for it? I said, huh?
Never heard that.
I have my, I said, and I will, to the credit of the woman that was working, she was trying to do everything. And I said, this is ridiculous. He's 94 years old. I said, they're trying to get people to get the boosters, and then y'all make it hard for people to do it. And so I just, we had to end up leaving. And so I called his insurance. I called my insurance. And do you know, a lot of insurance don't cover it. They want you to get it federally funded or whatever the case may be. So I'm on a journey to the booster. So that was it was just one of those days where it's like a complete waste to go just to be turned away to say, sorry, your insurance doesn't cover it. So we'll see what happens next.
Now in California, we have something called My Turn. I went to look, because maybe it is just California, but you go to My Turn, and that's how I got it. So maybe it is state. It's interesting how we live in the same country, but it's starting to be like each, even though we're all in the United States, it's starting to be like every state is its own little thing. Because I didn't have to.
And and the thing about it is, you hear all the news, and they're saying we want you to get it. and then you have these roadblocks to getting it. And I said, I'm going to do it. But if I was the person that was kind of like, I need a sign, and they turned me away, I could literally like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I'm not going back because that was the sign I was looking for, that it's not meant for me. People will look for any and everything to be a sign. And I said, you're not trying to make it difficult. You want to make it as seamless as possible, so as many people as possible will go and get it. So yeah, I'm hoping to get it tomorrow. So the journey, I'll let you guys know tomorrow on the air whether or not we were able to get it.
Right. And you guys, if you know anything about the situation that's currently going on, because we have so many people that listen on We Got Issues, call in and give us your feedback. Maybe something that we need to know about, some of the changes in the rules in the federal and the medical coverage for this is something that's changed. You can call in at 313-778-7600, because some of us are hearing things for the very first time. I had never heard that, Chris, never heard that. And so it's interesting that you would have to leave there with your 94-year-old father. That's a very different situation. So, it's a lot going on. But today we're talking about passion in the fashion. So I'm excited to bring up Ashley Williams. You guys, seriously, bring her on stage. Yay, Ashley. We're so excited. You guys, my girlfriend, Dolores Oliver. She is somebody special. Let me tell you this. Dolores is a powerful, empowering woman on the hunt to mentor more young women towards their greatness. And so she introduced Ashley and myself to each other and was so very excited. So when you guys think about listening in and leaning into this story, and as we talk to you and have a conversation, Ashley, I'm very excited for them to know more about you, your journey. I was so impressed with her journey. And you guys, the bottom line of this all is that not only is she an entrepreneur, not only is she a young entrepreneur, not only did she move across country, she's going to tell that part of the story. Not only is she a survivor of domestic violence, but she's doing a fashion show for the benefit of domestic violence in Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We've talked about breast cancer and domestic violence awareness. And so also she's a mother. Wait till you hear. I mean, for real, she just does what she has to do with young children, in love with a fabulous man, getting married. So it's just a lot to her story that I'm so excited. So to start out, Ashley, I'm going to ask you to do what I ask all my guests to do, is to brag about yourself. Brag about yourself before you tell the story, and go deep into the bragging about who you are and what is in your background, as if you were telling your own bio. Talk to us.
I am 35 years old. Can you hear me now? How now?
She's coming on.
Can you hear me now?
Is it muted on the phone, Ashley?
No. Yes, it was.
There you go. All right.
Yes, it was.
Perfect.
Yes, I am 35 years old. I'm originally from Gary, Indiana. And then my aunt, who had been trying to get me to come out to Maryland for the longest, finally convinced me to move out this way after 5 years of convincing me. Once I got out here, she moved to Florida and left me by myself because she retired. She ended up retiring. But after I moved out this way, I was actually engaged to someone else at the time that I moved out here. But that relationship did not work out. And we ended up going our separate ways. And the funniest thing is, the person I was renting my apartment from when I separated from him is now my fiance.
Wow.
But
wait, say it again. Like, what did you just say?
You're right.
What did you say?
My ex landlord is now my fiance.
Oh, your ex landlord. I love it. Okay, talk deeper. Talk deeper. Right.
That story is so crazy. Wasn't even looking, not even paying attention to him. Was living in my apartment for 2 years with my son, who is now 11. At the time, he had to be maybe about 7, 8. But I told him, I said, you know what? I'm going to move out. I'm looking for a house. I'm about to buy a house, so I'm going to move. And he was like, oh, okay. Well, he was like, you shouldn't have to buy a house because you got one. I said, what? And he was like, yeah, I got a house. And he was joking, but I didn't even think twice about it. Our neighbors threw a 4th of July party. Our neighbors threw a
That's a
4th of
good
July
pickup
party,
line.
and he came to the 4th of July party. And ever since then, we've been like thick as thieves. We sat there, we talked from like 6 o'clock in the afternoon to 1 o'clock in the morning. And now the rest is
Oh,
history. And I never
right.
paid any
Wow.
attention to him before that day.
Wow.
And
Wait, let's stop
we have
there
3
because
kids together too.
okay, let's stop there for a second first. I love stories. I love stories all the time. And the girlfriends all know we always go like this. If you talk to a guy like nonstop for 3 hours straight, the eyebrow goes up. I can't do my eyebrows, so I have to fakely do my eyebrow like, oh, constant conversation is like deep-seated matchmaking all the way live. So that's sort of interesting. So interesting. So was it in that conversation, Ashley? Was it in that conversation? Was it love at first sight after you saw him several years?
It was after that conversation, I said, you know what? It's more to this man. I was so intrigued. And he's an entrepreneur too. He owns his own plumbing business. So it
Okay.
was like, and he said that what attracted me to him was the fact that I was such an entrepreneur and I had so much going for myself. And he saw within me that he was like that I wasn't a lazy person, that even with my son, I was still getting everything I needed to get done. I
Okay.
actually was
Ashley,
working.
hold on, because we're going to hear more about why you guys are equally yoked and how he is supporting you in your entrepreneurial business. And we'll be right back, you guys. We're going to take a quick break from We Got Issues, and we're going to welcome you guys back to 910 The Superstation in just a few minutes. Hold on. We'll call you right back. We hope you call in. Talk to you in a minute. I'm doing good. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. I'm doing good. Here we go. Here we go. We got issues. We got issues. And let me just say this to you. Let me just say this to you. It is so fun. Michael, you're doing some good applause there. You're doing some good applause there. Well, I am so excited because Ashley said to me, she says, Gloria, I'm a little nervous. And when we talked and I got the chance to meet her and she got to tell her story, I always tell people, and as women that have been in business for many years, Ashley, we can tell you that nervousness is just a part of growth. And so we're glad that you're here as someone who's growing, who's pushing through her nervousness. Now, this is why I'm so intrigued by who she is, you guys. Number one, she has a fashion show, and the fashion show is a donation to domestic violence. So, and she has a brand new fashion designing. She designs and sews many of the clothes and designs them and has a website and has an online business as well. And then if you know Dolores, what you guys don't know Dolores is like, I know Dolores, but Dolores is one of the sharpest dressers on the face of the earth, isn't she, Ashley?
Yeah.
She's like one of
Yes.
the sharpest. So she's like, boy, and so to me, she's opened up the door for us to see even more because we, the Force of Friendship, we love unique outfits, Ashley. We like saying that we have our personal designer ourselves. We like leaning into women like yourself who has a vision. So tell us a little bit about the fashion show and then tell us your story as to why this particular fashion show, not her first fashion show, but why her passion for fashion is filling a place where she deserves and wants to give back.
The name of this fashion show is called Our Voice Fashion Show. It is for domestic violence. The reason that I started doing a show for domestic violence is because I am a domestic violence survivor. Uh, Somebody who's been through it in a past relationship, been when I tell you beat with a laptop thrown at my back, or even to the fact of being kicked on in front of my son. It gets to the point to where when my son saw it, I said, you know what, I need to move on and leave this person alone because this person is obviously not going to change. And they said that they would so many times. Being a woman who's in it, you don't tell anybody your situation. You just keep on moving along with not saying anything. For those women who are silent, I want to speak for them and I want to give them like a platform to where they can see other women who've been through it. There is a way out of it. There are people you can contact. There are people that can help you. That's something that I didn't know at the time. My family didn't find out about what I was going through until I left. And that's when I left, it was kind of too late because I had a black eye and a busted lip. And it was my best friend at the time who actually saw my face. My son was watching me get beat on. I looked up and I saw him. I grabbed him, went down the stairs, hopped in my car, and went to my best friend's house. And she saw my face and said, "Not this time, Ashley. We need to do something." And I was like, if it wasn't for her calling the police and making me make that police report, I wouldn't have never done it. I wouldn't have never seen how bad it was. So it's a huge thank you to her because she was there at the time. And when the police came out and they saw my face and what woke me up was definitely the police looking at me and that look of sadness that they had as they were taking the pictures. It was like, yeah, I'm not going back after that.
Ashley, can I pause you for a second? I don't know if any of the girlfriends have a comment here, but what you said was a theme of your girlfriend was the
Yeah.
one who said,
Hmm.
wait a minute. And one of the reasons that we started this show, honestly, was to lift up the value of what girlfriends can be in each other's lives. And we don't talk about that enough, we felt. And so what you're saying to me is it was a girlfriend. I know from my domestic violence, it was my first cousin who was like a girlfriend to me who said, enough is enough. And it doesn't matter when we hear your story and what you've done. It's amazing what a woman you are, but you still were in domestic violence and you had that attitude of, I can fix things, I can fix this, I can fix things. Was that the first time you went to your girlfriends? And what was it that she did or said that really turned the station around for you?
That wasn't the first time I went to her. That was the first time it had got to the point to where you could see like it was visual. Like one time before I had just told her about it, but she she has never liked the guy anyway. But she had her good reason. And then when I would tell her little things, she would be like, "Oh no." we not doing that. And when this time it was so drastic, like it was so bad that I couldn't even go to work. I had to go to work that afternoon. I had to call my job. I worked at a hardware store at the time. I called my job. I told my store manager to meet me outside and to look at my face. And I was like, I can't go inside. And he said, you know what? Looking at you right now, take a week off. And whatever you need, just
Wow.
let me know. That's how bad it was. Makeup couldn't even
Mhm.
cover up my face. And that's when
Wow.
that's when everybody saw it. When my dad saw it, when my brother saw it, no one knew what I was going through. And when she saw it, like she saw maybe a bruise or two, but when she saw that, my best friend, and everybody knows my best friend Marie, she don't play. So when she seen that, when I tell you ever meet a fiery person, it's definitely her. And if you a friend, she stick with you to the end. So she looked at me and said, "Oh, we not doing this." She called the police and she made sure I made a police report. So I was like, and I thank her for that, because if she didn't do that, it would never be a record of anything that he had done. And so I
Wow.
do believe that putting that police report in, seeing myself in that light, my son seeing it, I don't want him to ever have to experience anything like that, seeing his mom go through anything like that. So with all of that playing a part, I was like, I have to go. I can't stay in this anymore.
Now tell us about
Mhm.
what you said your son said when he was 5 years old that he remembered.
So we had moved to Maryland, away from Indiana at this point. At this time, he was 5. We out to eat, and he says, "Mommy, you remember the time Daddy was kicking you on the floor, and he picked me up and threw me in the room, but then you came back out and got me and ran downstairs and got in your red car, and we drove to Auntie Marie's house." And I was just like, he was 2. How could he possibly remember that? So to me, that hurt me so bad, because the reason why I got away from all of that was so that he would never ever have to see that. I didn't think that he would remember, but he did. He remembered it verbatim, detail by detail. That right there, as a mother, I didn't leave soon enough, because he remembered something that deep. So I had to let him
Wow.
know, like I had to call like his dad and say, we need to talk to him and let him know that that's not how things go. And now he's changed. He's not that person anymore. But I believe that if I wouldn't have never filed that police report and made it public and let everybody know what was going on, he wouldn't have never had the ability to change into the person he is
Right.
now.
Right. I
Mhm.
have to say, I have to say that the title of your fashion show, Our Voice, every time that we've talked to people in domestic violence or people who try to support people in domestic violence, the one thing they say is that it is so prevalent because it's the silence of it. The silence of domestic violence helps perpetuate domestic violence, and that we don't say anything and we keep this thing that it's going to be okay or we're going to get over it. And like you said, you don't say anything until it's so dang on visual that you can't help but say anything. And so given that voice, I just want to say it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Women, the biggest problem we have in domestic violence is the silence. As long as it's silence, it never gets dealt with. Does anybody have a question for Ashley until I go on to the next question? Because let me just tell you, okay, so Ashley, while I got you on here, I want to know how your aunt got you to move from Gary, Indiana to Bowie, which is near Baltimore, Maryland. You guys, okay, so before I let her go with that story, I want to say to all the people that are listening, many of us are aunts and uncles, and many of us aren't necessarily as astute as her aunt was to get her out of that situation. But talk to us about what she did and how she maneuvered you from where you were to where you are today.
She actually wanted me to go to college out here. She had been grooming me since I was 16 to move out this way. And she kept saying, "Oh," she took me on a college tour. I was supposed to go to college out here, but instead I went to the International Academy of Design and Technology in Chicago. And once I didn't come out here, then I was like, I'll come out. But then I had my son. And then I said, I'll still move. But then I was in my situation. Once I finally got away out of that situation, and I moved. 2 years later, I said, you know what, Aunt Barbara, I'm moving for real this time. I promise you I'm coming. And she was like, okay, because I'm not waiting on you no more. You better come on. And my uncle, her husband, said, well, if you move out here this time, you can come stay with us for 3 months until you get your apartment. At the time, I was working at Davis Bridal as an alteration specialist. So I just put in my
Wow.
transfer, and the transfer accepted me in Rockville. Now that's an hour away from where I was moving to, but I really wanted to move bad, so I was, and it's nothing in Gary at all for me and what I want to do. So I just decided, okay, I put in my transfer. 2 months later, I was packing up everything to move out there, and I moved in with my aunt. 3 months later, I had my own place. So her constantly pushing me to move definitely helped me. She just kept on. You gonna move this year? You gonna move this year? Yes, I'm
What did
moving.
she see for you? What did she see for you that would make you move with your son as a single parent across the country to someplace you didn't know? What did she keep saying to you
You
that
know, I
resided with you?
used to
Because you're talking to other people who mentor other women.
I used to come out here every like maybe twice a year to visit my aunt, and I loved how you can prosper so much in Maryland. You have so many different avenues you can go. It's so many inspiring people. I love the fact that my son even had the chance to go to school with diversity. If you ever visit Gary, there is no diversity at all. It's 90% African Americans that live there. And if you see anybody from a different country, it's like, oh, you from Nigeria? Really? Can I talk to you for a second? Can you tell me about it? But here you see it all the time. You see
Right.
so so you know just how not diverse Gary is. My son, when we first got here, he saw a lady in a hijab and asked if she was a ninja.
She said, what? I missed that. What?
Me too.
No, he saw a lady in a hijab when we first got
Yeah.
here, and he asked the lady. He walked up to her and tapped her and said, "Excuse me, are you a ninja?"
A
Wow.
ninja.
He was 4 at the time. Okay, but he definitely asked if she
He
was a
just
ninja.
didn't know. He just didn't know,
He
right?
did not know
Video
because we don't
games.
see it. We don't see it there. So, or it's not an everyday thing. So now he
Wow.
knows. He knows about different holidays. He knows about a lot more things than I did, even when I was his age. But I can thank
Right.
my aunt for saying, you know what, you need to come out this way, because now that he has seen that, it's so funny. He was like, "Mommy, do I have to go? Am I gonna stay with Dad this year? Because I don't want to go to school with the ghetto kids."
Wow.
And I was like, "No, he did not.
The description. Wow.
You know
Okay.
that he
Well,
did
tell
not
us.
say that, but he said it
Yes.
because it's so different here than it is there."
Mhm.
Gloria, I want to ask Ashley something, because what you're talking about, Ashley, and again, thank you so much for being with us on today and sharing your story, is you're talking about the power of exposure. And I
Mhm.
think that is so important, because sometimes people are stuck and they don't even know they're stuck. And so kudos to
Right.
your aunt for constantly, placing a seed in you, because it seems as if she saw the greatness in you. And, we have a saying that you can only take people as far as they can see. And so I think it's so awesome, as a single parent, that, you made a decision to move and expose your son to more, so that, when you're exposed to more, then I literally know it causes you to think bigger and to want more in your life. And so now that you're there, how long have you been in Maryland?
Going on 7 years now, 7, 8.
Wow.
Mhm.
7 years, 7 years. So I don't know, Gloria, are we going to talk about your fashion? Because that's the part I'm like, okay, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming.
Yes, we want to hear. We want to know what's behind you. We see some of her fashions, and talk about your fashion show and your fashion design, because she went to school for fashion design, and it's just amazing what she's shown us so far. What I've seen. Go ahead, Ashley. Tell us about your
Well,
fashion show.
the fashion show is this Friday. It's gonna be at the Holiday Inn in College Park Ballroom. The doors open at 7, the show starts at 8, and the donations will be going to Promise Place. It's a domestic violence shelter. They help victims of domestic violence there. It's in Capitol Heights. They really need the support because they can only help 25 people at a time, and they have to be single
Mm.
people, not even family, because of how small the shelter is, and they only have 20 days to get the person in and out, set up in a place with a job, with food stamps. It's like they don't get enough funding just because they are
20
such a
Wow.
20 days. 20 days. And when I tell you these people, Mr. Eddie Hall, he tries to move as quick as he can. He helps with everybody trying to get them in and set up as fast as they can. But it's hard because of the simple fact that they don't get as much funding as they need. So I said, when I sitting down
Mhm.
talking to him, I said, you know what? I'm going to see if I can do a fashion show and make sure that we give you all the donations and some of the proceeds. The tickets, they are $75, but if you put in my name, you get $10 off in the promo code.
Okay.
What's the website? Where do they go to get the tickets, Ashley?
They can go to eventbrite.com and just look up
Okay.
Our Voice fashion show for domestic violence. You'll see this
Mhm.
flyer. We did just get Diva the Voice. She's a radio personality. She's going to be hosting.
Mhm.
So,
Excellent.
So
she
show
was a
us.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead. She was
Yeah, but
what?
she was a big help, and she's definitely said she wanted to be a part of it. I got men's wear, I have women's wear, all the way ranging from sizes 0 to 26. So it's to
So
show.
Ashley, since we're on the radio, we want you to describe that's behind you and describe your fashion show because I think every fashion show, look at Chris, she just smiling. We just love all kind of fashion and a fashion show. And we need to use your words because so many people are on the radio, but we want to hear about you and how you put your personality and your twist on your fashions.
Um, I hate doing something I see online. When people come to me and they say they want this outfit, I'm like, don't you want to do this, this, and this? We can change this. I always let them know that we can change whatever it is because since you're paying to get it made, don't pay to get something that you've already seen. It's always a plus.
Mm.
If you're gonna pay, then you should pay for it to be different in some type of way. So with this jacket, I actually designed this jacket when I was in design school, and every time I pull it out, everybody just loves the collar and the sleeves on this is actually a jumpsuit that goes underneath it that's corseted. But
Mm.
this jacket is wool. It's two different types of wool and it's patchwork, but this is one of my favorite pieces. I can't part from it.
So you make more of them so you don't part from them?
I have sold. This was a part of a collection. I did sell a piece from this collection because the lady just had to have it. So she was like, well, I will pay for that piece. So I did sell that piece. And this one is one of my prized possessions. But I'm like, since it's been so long and I can make
Uh-huh.
another one, I'll just go ahead and part ways with this one too. I got somebody who wants to purchase this one. So I was like, you know what? I'll give her up. And then this is a menswear vest that I just did with pants. It actually does have a jacket that goes to it. And this one
Mhm.
is a fur coat that
Mhm.
I
Wow.
did.
Right.
And
Wow.
yeah, and it locks with the door locks. This is how you
Mhm.
know I used to work at a hardware store.
Unique.
Doing
How,
something different. But yeah, and this is also going to be in the show.
So what
Ashley,
is
how do
the
you get
theme?
your
Go
I was
ahead.
going to ask, how do you get your inspiration? Do you just,
Right.
where does it come from? Do you see a picture and you build from there? Is it just your clients coming to you saying, I want something like this? I guess some people it's just their gift, but how do you get your inspiration?
You know, it depends on on a scenario. That fur coat came about in a contest. It was a fur coat contest that I did the fur coat for. And they said, make it as different as possible. So I said, you know what? Everybody was doing female coats. I'm going to do a men's coat and I'm going to make the doors lock with door locks and I'm going to make sure mine is completely different and off the chain. I just started designing it and it just came to me. Sometimes I can look like I could be sitting outside because I love nature. If I'm sitting outside and I look at the leaves, I'm like, I wonder if I put how many leaves do I have to cut out to make a dress out of leaves? Like if I did it
Wow.
out of material and I actually did a peacock outfit out of 3 different peacock colors and I cut peacock circles out and made the dress out of peacock circles. So I think kind of
Wow.
like out of the box on a lot of things. But if somebody comes to me and I'm like, don't you? I'll just be like, and they'll tell me what they want. But depending on their body type is how I'll be like, don't you want to do this? I think this would look nice on you. And they'll be like, okay,
Mhm,
I like that. I think that's
mhm,
cute. Like Miss Dolores, I'm making her a Caribbean outfit. She
mhm.
is so amazing. She has the nicest shape. So I'm like, you know what we can do for you? We can do this, 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 this. We could put
Right.
this in lace. We could have you a bralette. We could. She said, yeah. And it's like when I get the clients who just let me do what I want to do, like freely. I love that because in the end, then they say, yeah, I definitely like what you did with it. I
Right.
had
Go
one
ahead,
lady
Chris.
whose wedding dress
Oh,
I made, and she didn't know what it looked like till 2 days before the wedding, and she loved it.
Wow, that's
Wow.
two
powerful. So
days before the
Ashley,
wedding.
wow,
Go ahead,
that
Chris.
I mean, that's somebody that trusts you. They would have to
Mhm.
really, really, really trust you. So that's I'm so glad she loved it. So my question, Ashley, is at what age did you fall in love with fashion and when did you decide that's what I want to major in and what where do you see your future going in this business?
I started sewing when I was in the 4th grade, and I guess from there it just went it flourished. My first fashion show was I was a junior in high school, and
Wow.
yeah, I was a junior in high school, and at first I didn't decide to go to school for fashion design. I actually went to be a psychiatrist. But,
Wow.
dropped out and went into fashion design. My mom said, "You should do something else. You should be fashion designers don't make no money." Now she takes them words back. Cause she see my small business is now, my fiance is so, so great. He made the whole basement. It has a whole separate entrance. For last Christmas, he set it up as my shop. It's a whole shop down there. He brought me an
Wow.
embroiderer machine. He made me my logo sign outside my door. So it says premium threads as soon as you walk in. It has cutting tables, my industrial sewing machines that like he set everything up like it's a shop. I have a dressing room, a coffee machine for my clients. He even got wine
Got it.
glasses. So from everything that he did, I definitely see myself. We said in about maybe 2 years, I will venture out from my shop downstairs in the basement and get me my own office outside the house. Because right now I have
We
so
got a
much
caller.
traffic coming in and out. We just want
Yeah.
to go ahead.
Ashley, we have a caller. And so I'm so excited that you described what you're creating down there. We'll get to you, Sabrina, just after we get to the caller. Dolores, are you on the line?
I am, but I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. Hey, Dolores. Hey, how you doing? Good. We can hear you. What do you want to call in? You called in and We Got Issues. She's been a contributor to the talent on We Got Issues. Well, I just wanted to say that when I met Ashley, I've only known Ashley for probably a month or so since we've been working on this project. But I was just immediately impressed with her energy before I even heard her story and her talent. The one thing that she just mentioned is that she can look at you and she can figure out what's best for you. And you feel that trust. And you can let her go. Let her do her thing. Because, just because of her energy and her spirit. Yes. I wanted to just call in and let everybody know she's a phenomenal person. And then the fact that a survivor of domestic violence, and she's put all that behind her and she's moving on. She's really going to soar in her career.
Wow.
Wow. That is something. Yes. That's so exciting, Lord. Thank you so much, because we love the fact that you're always highlighting more and
You got issues. So this is so exciting. So excited. Thank you, Dolores. So excited. Sabrina, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, Ashley, I just wanted to ask how you took yourself from being employed with David's Bridal. Did you always see something bigger for yourself? Or did something one day just say, there's more for me? Or did you always know that there would be more for you?
It's funny you asked that question because I actually ended up becoming a manager at Davis Bridal after maybe 3 years, and I transferred. They transferred me to another store and made me an operational manager. So they didn't want me sewing anymore. But all the sewing issues, they still wanted to see if they needed a manager, I would go fix them. And then they would get the other managers above me would say, you're not supposed to be doing that. You can't do that. And I'm like, well, if they don't trust them and they trust me, then I'm going to do it. I am a manager. After about maybe a year of going back and forth, I said, if y'all are arguing with me about making a customer happy, then this is not the job for me. So I quit. And they would pull me in to actually write me up. And I told them, save that write up, because I'm just going to quit. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And I was just like, if I know I got to be good if y'all trying to stop me from being great. And I have all of
I
my
like
clients.
that.
That's the word right there. I know
Right.
I must be good if you're trying to stop me from being great.
Mhm.
That's it right there. Yeah. That's good. That's
And
so
ever
good.
since then,
You're right,
I've been
Master.
on my own.
We're all writing
Yeah,
it
good
down.
for you. Congratulations. Congratulations. It takes guts, courage, all of that risk. So many people stay in the same spot because they don't have the courage or the wherewithal to think that they can be great, and they're stuck at being good. So kudos, my friend. Great job.
That's great.
Thank you.
I had to write that down. I got to be good. If you're trying to stop me from
From being great. That's good.
wow, quote,
Yes.
quote, again and again and again. Okay, so Ashley, you got to tell this part. How are you managing all that you're managing, and in terms of advice? Women are listening to you. Handle it all. Tell them about your children, the other three, and how
Yes.
you operate at home.
I have a total of 6 kids. Um, they range from my twins, who are 2. I have a 7-month-old, my son, who is 11, and then I have 2 bonus kids that he had from a previous relationship. They're 11 and 16. Uh, Managing everything is hard day to day, trust me, but we definitely get up and do it. We just put the twins in daycare. Once my business started to pick up like crazy, I definitely couldn't be at home with them 24/7, and they are too. So I said, you know what, we putting them in daycare. So now that they're in daycare, I still have the baby home with me all day. So I have to say it's not easy. Every day it's a different routine. Nothing stays the same. This house is. I'm surprised they quiet right now. You can't hear them, to be honest. But my fiance must have them in there eating, because the twins are only quiet when they're eating and watching TV, and my baby is probably the infant is asleep. So that's the only thing that's keeping them quiet. But when I tell you this house is 24/7 working, he's either in the office working for 24/7 on his proposals, and I'm downstairs working on all of my designs. Isn't we both probably get maybe 4 hours of sleep a day.
Okay, so twins that are 2-year-olds.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's be clear. A 2-year-old is a lot. Twin 2-year-olds is even more. And twin 2-year-olds with a 7-month-old.
Mhm.
So tip number 1, Ashley, women are listening to you. Tip number 1, you run an entrepreneurial business. Your fiance is an entrepreneur, and you share 6 children. What's tip number 1 that you can give to these women?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. As women, we always think that we have to do things by ourselves. Oh, I'm a strong Black woman. Oh, I don't need no man. Yes, you do. You need all the help you can get, because
Right.
being a strong woman is not just doing it by yourself. It takes a village. It does. And if you don't have that village, you won't be able, you're going to break down. You're going to have a breakdown moment. If you need a nanny, get a nanny. If you need a housekeeper, get a housekeeper. If you need a family member to come and stay with you for a couple of weeks, ask that person, because with all the kids we got, it's just two of us. We outnumbered. I know we need the help. My dad my dad is here right now helping. He flew in from Indiana. He's in the family room right now he's had my infant all day while I prepare for the fashion show, sewing, still getting stuff done, seeing clients. Only time he brings her to me is when I got to breastfeed her. Otherwise than that, he said, Ashley, I got it. Go ahead and finish. So tip number one is, if you need the help, ask for it. It is a stress reliever. Believe me, you definitely need the help.
Awesome. Awesome. I had this one other question too. Sabrina sent us this article over the week about a man who's starting an HBCU in the state of Michigan about design. And I bet you run into these people often who want to know, is it important to go to school, or should I just go with the talent that I have? If you had to say, going to design school did what for you that was the most important thing for you to stop what you were doing, go to school when it was difficult, but you did it, what would be the major reason you would instruct someone to take that course versus not going to school?
Just the things you learn in design school. Don't get me wrong. We do have a lot of great designers who did not go, but what we do learn in design school is how to do the hard stuff, that avant-garde, the real big and bold things that you see on the runway. I wouldn't have never attempted to do any of that if I didn't go to design school and nip that in the bud, because when you are at home designer, all you do is sew what people ask you to sew, because that's all you. Oh, can you make this? Sure, I can make that. But being a designer who actually went to school, got the degree, for me, I didn't have to go to school, but I wanted to say I have a degree in fashion design. It just sounds better. Especially when you come into my lab downstairs and you see my diploma hanging on the wall. I just look like I'm the stuff. So I wanted that degree. I wanted it for a reason, because it makes me, it looks as if I did what I was supposed to do to get where I am. And you can't tell me that I don't know what I'm doing. Now you trust me even more because I have a degree in fashion design. So it is important to get the degree. For me, it definitely was, for many reasons, not just to say that I did it, but it taught me. I had a great teacher. He definitely, one of my professors was definitely on it with pushing you to go outside the envelope. And if he never would have done that, I never would be able to do the things I do today.
Excellent. Excellent.
Ashley, quick question.
Go ahead.
I was going to
Chris,
ask you, okay, what do you love designing the most? I know that you can design anything, but what is it that just makes your heart sing when you design this? Is it jackets? Is it dresses? Is it skirts? What is it that you just absolutely love?
When somebody gives me a wedding party, it's like, ooh, yes, I get like, it like just makes me like so excited, because they always want the bridesmaids to look alike. And I'm like, no, depending on their body shape, I want them to have the same material, but different tops. Different, like, I love that wedding dresses, love making a wedding dress. It is like, I don't know what it's just like so excited to me. Like, oh, you want me to do your wedding dress? Yay!
Well, we see the passion right there, for real. That was total 100% right. 100%. You got one more minute, Sabrina. Did you have a comment? One more minute.
You know what? It really was going to be on the line of Chrisette's question. What do you love? What do you like? I was also going to ask about fabric, like for the fall. What's hot? What's new for the fall? But I hear the music playing now.
Ashley, real quickly, how do they get in touch with you? Ashley?
They can go to my Instagram, Ashley Nicole _1986. They can definitely they can hit me up on Facebook, Ashley Nicole Williams, and they can, if they do one of those things, they can definitely get in contact with me either way.
Well, we're hoping to blow you up. We want to wish you a fabulous fashion show. We're so excited about your story as we go out and support other young women in their entrepreneurial businesses and their dreams and their visions. Ashley, thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for being so transparent on We Got Issues. This is 9:10 a.m., the Superstation. We're so glad we're going to be here tomorrow from 6 to 7 p.m. We cannot wait to see you, Ashley. Congratulations.
Thank
See you later
you.
now.
Thank you.
Signing up. The Force of Friendship. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.